Troy, welcome back to the show.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. It's awesome. Thank you.
So AARP did a study with military personnel and veterans, found that 1 in 3 reported that they'd been victims of fraud that is military themed. Tell us about what they've been seeing out there.
Almost 40% veterans are more likely to lose money to scams than our regular civilian population. You know, that total just in 2021 was 267 million, and that's up from 102 million in 2020. So, and that was according to the Federal Trade Commission as well report. And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to work and figure out something that we can do that veterans and their families could have an online resource that was to protect them and very easy to access. And that's when we launched back in April our AARP Veterans Fraud Center.
And we'll get into the fraud center here in a little bit, but what kinds of fraud are people seeing? Is it mainly phone calls and people saying maybe they're from an old unit or something?
Yeah, great question. What we found is that those top scams were mainly in 3 main buckets. And those main areas were benefit buyouts. That's turning over like your U.S. Department of VA pension or disability benefits to this supposed lump sum payment, that never materializes. In the survey that we conducted, 47% was that. Fraudulent record scams, paying for updating your personal military records. Let me just share with the audience here, you never have to pay for your personal military records. If you hear that, it's an automatic scam. And what is being used is something called a DD Form 214, which is our official military record. If anyone says that you have to pay for that, that is hang up the phone immediately and move on. And then lastly, the big one was the fake charity giving request, harping on veterans, their focus for that second mission when you're out of the military. The scammers are really focused on that to go ahead and scam our veterans and their families.
Last year, AARP made a one-stop shop for military veterans and military families to have jobs. And now there's a new one-stop shop for fraud.
Absolutely. With our AARP Veterans Military and Families Initiative, we have our 4 pillars approach. We want to protect military families from fraud. We want to make sure they have caregiving resources. We want to connect them to their military service benefits. And we want to make sure that they can re-career through our job center. So this fraud center, this new online education and resource center is there to help our veterans look at these scams, be aware of them, and be prepared to fight back. I'll tell you, targeting scams, of members of the military is just unconscionable. We want to alert veterans and their families to fraud that's out there and how they can prevent it. And this is what this one-stop shop does. Very excited about it.
And is it mostly veterans who are being targeted, or are you seeing people in active duty being targeted as well?
Oh yeah, what we're finding is that it's veterans, current military, their families. So it seems the military community as a whole, they're being targeted because, and what we're finding is that the scammers know that these veterans and current military and their families have access, to these pensions, access to these specific benefits. So if you can go ahead and get a scam done, that could really impact them, but that's where our free resources within the center is very helpful. Our new AARP Watchdog Alert Handbook, the direct helpline number to the Fraud Watch Network, and our work with our Operation Protect Veterans. So all those free resources are there available for our veterans and their families to protect them, which is outstanding.
I see. And if someone has a suspicion where something might be right, might be wrong, where should they go?
I think the first place that we should start is that if you think you've been scammed, is contact our AARP Fraud Watch Network helpline. We have dedicated volunteers that are there that will take the scam, listen to you, take down the information, and most importantly, share it and make sure that we get that shared across the entire, across our entire enterprise. And you can call at 1-877-908-3360. And then what that allows us to do is to do watchdog alerts that alert people of scams that are happening. And then most importantly, we have a scam tracking map to where people can go into this landing page, go into this scam tracker, put in your zip code. And once you put in your zip code, you can see the top scams that are in your area. And that to me is the true benefit of this, to where it just really helps you zero target what's going on in your area.
Troy, we've talked fraud before on this show, and you mentioned a no script. What is one?
You know, a no script is very simply when you receive that phone call and you know it's asking for your military service records, and you know that it does not, something sounds fishy. So I think at that point, that's when you sit back and you say to that person, you know, have your no script available. Say, thank you very much, but I'm not interested. My answer is no, and have a great day, and hang up the phone. Disengage from that particular contact. When you do disengage from that contact, you have your no script available. That way you're just prepared. It's being ready to act automatically. You hear the scam, go ahead and make the switch, use the no script, and then you can move on for the rest of your day. So develop that no script, please.
And Troy, as you know, that money, those benefits are things that are earned by service members. So thank you for coming on and letting us know how to protect those benefits.
Well, it's a pleasure, and it's very important that we, you know, I want to share those red flags with everyone. But I'll leave you with this: please, as a veteran, military, current member, you never have to pay for your own service records. Make sure that you have your no script available, and make sure that if you are scammed, make sure you report it through our AARP Fraud Watch Network helpline. And those are some things that you can do to really protect yourselves as we move forward.
Troy Broussard, thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you.